I will not, as a lawyer now, begin to say he slapped a policeman. I will say that was a purported slap. It's purported. It's not yet proven. And I'm taking liberty from knowledge of the famous unknown mystery gunman case involving simply Mr. Wole Soyinka then, as was then known in the 50s. I should like to say that a lot of romantic views have been expressed by so many people about the incidence of an assault on a policeman or a person in uniform. And like I said, quite romantic, but it's not legal. You know, the Constitution itself and then the common law will forbid you ordinarily assaulting a person, inflicting injuries, and affronting the dignity of any human being. You know, will it mean then that the police or a person in uniform has a higher status in the eye of the law? Because you say when you slap a policeman, it is Nigeria, you are slapping, or you are assaulting what I will call the symbol of the country and all that. Irregardless, and like one wonderful police officer wrongly stated my opinion that whatsoever a man in uniform could have done, you must not lift your finger against that person. That person is not talking law. It's just talking romance. It's talking romance. And I want to make, and there are some other legal friends of mine, with due respect to them, that have taken a position that a policeman or a military officer or anybody who happens to be a law enforcement officer has kind of a superior status when it comes to the issue of the legal consequences of an assault. I beg to disagree. Where a police officer, to me, and my understanding of the law, will have a superior status, it is when an assault on him was occasioned in the course of the performance of his official duty. That there is a distinction. To a non-legal mind, that may not be a distinction, but there is a distinction. When a police officer, for example, has finished from his work and he was going home, or going back to his base, just is not on any official duty, is not on any official task, you know, he was just going home, and this kind of a thing happens. The famous section of the Police Act or the Criminal Code that many people like to quote, I don't know the specific something now offhand. People will assume that it means once a man puts on the uniform, so therefore automatically he's on duty. No, they are not always on duty. They are not always on duty. And why a police officer or military fellow or anybody security agent that is assaulted in the course of doing his work, why that person will now have a special status is because of the work. Because you are preventing him to do a very vital security work. And the structure of society, even the economy, everything depends on security and protection. That we're having this interview at all is because we are safe enough to hold it. That the presidential election tribunal is sitting because there's enough safety to guarantee it and everything. So the law and the constitution and the lawmakers have ascribed that special status to security. So if a policeman, for example, is on his way investigating a crime or is responding to a distress call and all that, or whatever, or investigating, and in the course of doing that, to me, whether wearing a uniform or not wearing it, because it's not all the time they wear uniform, it's not just a matter of that wearing uniform. The significance of his job that he is doing has now marked him out separate. You are now disturbing government work. But a police officer who is not in that not doing duty, is just on his own, and maybe he's gone to a beer parlor to eat or to drink. You're not supposed to drink while on duty, so certainly it's not on duty, it's just relaxing, and altercation should happen. Or for example, people are talking about the security, I think was it the PRO or Udeyi or something, that romantic fellow, it was a police officer or NDDCI or a naval officer should go and have a amorous entanglement, a romantic entanglement with another person's wife in the house of the person wearing your uniform, and the ọkọ kù ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀, the ọkọ punch your teeth out, and people are now saying, whatever he has done, or even a police officer has conducted or maybe custom immigration is doing an illegality, and now is caught up in that act, and there are reactions to that thing, either to apprehend him or to subdue him, and so say, oh, he's a police officer, or he's a soldier, he's a naval officer. Somebody participating in smuggling arms, in doing drugs, in raping, all those kind of things. I'm just using an example. Oh, that uniform will not avail him at all. And that's all. And then to go to maybe the base of your question about police civilian relationship in the country, is bad. It's bad, and it's historical. The police, even the name, there's a police force. They've tried to remove the force from it, but the thing no grieve them. The average law enforcement agent in Nigeria, up to the level of civilians like attorney generals, who are legal practitioners, they are not the people's attorney general. They are not the people's police. The Nigerian army is not the people's army. The Nigerian navy is not the navy of the people. The way even the civil servants, they don't see themselves as the servants of the people. They see themselves as minions of government. And by government, we are talking of the current political office holder in the corridor of power. They are anti-people. If you want to know any issue in Nigeria, the direction to take, you can predict what government will do by simply knowing what the people want. Exactly what the people want, the opposite of it is what Nigerian government will want. You can, the average Nigerian, for example, look at the election petition issue, televising, not televising, and everything. The average Nigerian people will be delighted. Just that they are delighted to be watching the answers, panel, and everything. You can almost predict that government agencies, including the court, which is part of government, only judicial arm, they are not likely to grant that kind of a prayer, and it's true. So as it is in the country, the democracy we are practicing, the agency of government is not a democracy of the people for the people, but it is a democracy of the government, by the government, for the government, and the friends and sympathizers of the government. So the relationship has not been rosy, and the oppression of the police, which include bribe taking, which include extortion, which include harassment, which include torture, you understand, shows that that's why they have to come up with the slogan, the police is your friend. Everybody knows that the police is not your friend. Of course, there are exceptions. That's why people marvel. You are supposed to marvel if it's a common norm, it's the norm among the police. Sometimes you see well-disciplined officers, kind-hearted, fair-minded investigators, and all those kind of things. But by and large, why are people scared of even reporting crime to the police? You go and report, you are in trouble. Something will have happened 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, police will stop an area. That's their modus operandi. Anybody, they will just clear them and detain them. Look at even the Seun Kuti's case. When the thing first happened, the more the public know, unlike the public, they were in support of the police. majority. It's only a few activists for class solidarity reasons. But that people say, this one is too much now. Bah, how can you slap a policeman? Even if it's not a policeman. So, but by the time police gbèsè wọn dé, when the police display their normal tendency, attitude, opinion begin to change again. What? Why do you want to? It's a simple thing of assault, as people say they see the film and everything, and the man has after a whole, to me, is an incident that does not even call for the intervention of the high office of the IGP. It's not, we joke too much in this country. IGP, a slap on the bridge in Lagos. IGP is, as to use our language, put mouth, quite unnecessary. Is even a commissioner of police don't need to do that. The DPO, they will just radio themselves among themselves, and then they will do the necessary thing. They don't need to do that. And then the gentleman, this happened on the Saturday also, on a Monday, the fellow by himself turned himself in. Immediately, police don't come up with their usual president, remove his shoe, put him in handcuff, parade him, and all that. It's absolutely uncalled for. It's unnecessary. Some people have said that, well, he's a dangerous person and that kind of a thing. That's stretching it. Assault. And he has come. People say that even if a dog is mad, they won't be mad into the point of entering fire now. So assuming that the man is dangerous, he has come unarmed to the police. So he will now start beating the commissioner of police up, or they will overpower him. He is not the strongest man in the world. So you understand. And then now take him to court on Tuesday. They now say that they are investigating. They say they are investigating. And yet you are asking for 21 days of detention, if not for the judiciary acting as a gatekeeper. And so I must use the opportunity to commend that magistrate. I'm talking from experience of what I know as a veteran, at least in the Lagos State Judiciary, where you have practiced about 27 years. So one of the few times that the judiciary will ask questions from the police. Normally when they go with such application, it's almost as if it's automatic, as if the bench is judicial imprimatur for their desires, however reckless, however unreasonable. So the lady magistrate was asking, for what? Is it not assault? And 21 days to do what? Because without 21 days now, the man will be kept not in police facility, he will be in prison. Now do you begin to investigate him in the prison? So the lady said, the Oga judge said, magistrate said 2 days, and that they should perfect everything and adjourn the matter. Police being police, they brought one Oga son from Abuja, from somewhere, to as if, I was wondering, well, is this kind of a case that the ordinary legal minds in the police force cannot prosecute? I cannot dictate to the police if the thing is a very, very significant matter that will need the service of bringing in expert, legal luminary, being so big. But people have been saying, a needle has got lost, and you are now invoking the God of thunder to look for it. Needle has gotten lost. Somebody has stolen your needle. So the next thing you do is to go and call Shango to your aid to help you fish out. Is quite unnecessary. Apart from that, police not still being satisfied. They now got another, they called to police, to the magistrate again, try to obtain another thing. The one gave them only 4 days. But part of the others, which was not read out in court, I wonder why that happened, was that blood sample. There are a lot of legal arguments here and there where maybe become necessary, for him to be tested. But you know, it's an ex parte. It was an ex parte order. The gentleman's lawyer was not there to oppose it. So what do you want to do to show that he was intoxicated, or he was acting under the influence and everything? Whether he acted under influence or not, maybe they don't even know that. Maybe they're even preparing a defense for him. You know, whether he acted under influence or not, he had purportedly slapped an officer. And then the most curious of all these things is that somebody who came to a magistrate court and said that, oh, we want to investigate the case. The other side, the assaultee, if I can use that in English, we know the assaulter. The assaultee, his name, his identity, his person has been kept away by the police. No mention of him. It's as if he's a ghost who will now materialize suddenly, if not for searches of court's file that one manages now to get some things that he deposed to and all that. You know, so they are so far to the average person. It looks a bit like boju-boju, and like a boju-boju matter, transparency and all that. And then you find out that even the legal team now is now accusing Seun's legal team, as led by Leonard Silk, Olumide Fusika, of doing what they call a media trial. I've not seen any media trial. Most of the stories we'll be hearing is coming from the police sources now, not about not from his not from the lawyers. So I begin to wonder. So when you look at all these things, it's like it's a storm. Look at that my picture. In fact, this is the story. This picture captures the story. A storm in a teacup. Unnecessary, too much brouhaha. Too much brouhaha. That's to me is a simple, straightforward case that needs no dramatization. And then if it is said, in summary, if it is said that Kuti, the younger, has acted excessively intemperate, is a human being, is an individual. What about the police as an institution, as a professional body and professionalized body? You have expected more measure of decorum, more measure of class, not fire for fire. You disgrace us, I will disgrace you too. For fire, bole kaja. I don't expect the police to do that. Well, maybe a redeeming feature. Well, I've seen to see the gentleman. I saw the IPO. I think it's a DSP, Ogundare. I think Lekan Ogundare of Panti. In fact, a gentleman. I interacted with him. He was not doing gra-gra. Yeah, from what I've known of him before, and what I know, what I see, quite professional. With this job, there's no need to give impression of undue victimization or undue excitement, as if you have captured. The way the police have handled this matter generally is like, oh, Samson has fallen into the hand of the Philistines. Remove his eyes, shave his head, let him dance naked for us, let him entertain us. Quite unprofessional.
Thank you, sir. You have seen Seun Kuti since he was in detention?
I've seen him once.
Once, okay. Did you try to clarify with him, because we started reading some narrative in the media, first that he apologized to the officer and offered him 12,000 naira to fix his car, and later we also read again that he has become general overseer to other inmates. So did you try to clarify this with him, at least to
thank you. You are doing your work. You know, up till now, I'm not his lawyer.
No, I'm just saying, I'm seeing as somebody who has seen him.
I've seen him, and what I know on the first issue of being general overseer is that gentleman who I must say to me, oh, I don't know to other people, quite a polite, decent young man, quite polite, decent, lively person, likable, lively and likable, you know. He said no, that he is not a grand overseer, oh, that he's just a senior marshal, that he, and he was uh, done well by his colleagues in the detention facility there, and that he has had occasion to sing, to do what call it show for them. It's almost what you call uh, he's a bubbly fellow. There's one English that's escaping now. Almost unputdownable, lively, despite the tribulations. That's a tribulation. So he says, because I said, I heard that you are now a GO. Maybe you are doing some of the office. He said, no, it's not a GO. It's a senior marshal with some of the privileges that accompany that office in prison, which I will not tell you. And then the issue of whether he apologized to the fellow.
And offer 12,000.
No. That was not. You know, he denied that's not what happened. But what he said happened, I will not say. Like I said, I'm not his lawyer, and it's part of his defenses that, but he denied categorically that he apologized to the man. He gave the man money to go and repair his car and all that. No. That's not it. His own side of the story is left to him and his lawyers.
So we learned that his car has also been taken to the station.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I on Saturday when I went, it's been brought to the station. He actually asked I should go and look at it, how it was damaged and everything. Unfortunately, me and myself, the other lawyer, Mr. Ayo Ademiliyi, who was with me, we forgot to go and see. And he said they've searched the car. According to him, he said the police have searched the car. That's much I know about it. It's looking okay. The officer in charge of his matter, to me, did not maltreat him, and fair enough, firm but not wicked. Balanced gentleman. That's the impression that I got. A process has started. A judicial process has started. It depends on the perspective and maturity of both sides. I think it could be transformational, depending if the police will not take this attitude that if Samson has fallen into our hands, we must humiliate. Of course, the average Nigerian, including me, will not encourage and support or approve of assault on people generally. Let's talk of people enforcing the law. But on the other hand, too, people who are enforcing the law are supposed to be role model in civility. We've been hearing and reading about foreign countries, how Nigeria is not at war with self. Our police officers, our security officers should not be behaving as if we are enemy people and their forces of occupation. You understand?
Yeah.
Even in war situation, you can't conduct war anyhow. There are still laws guarding and guiding the conduct of war. You can't treat people anyhow. You can't kill anyhow. You are not supposed to torture that. So even in war, let's talk of your own forces paid by taxpayers in service of the inhabitants and citizens of Nigeria in a republic. It's a two-way thing, and I will want to think that greater duty is on the part of the police to improve on its image. Because, let me say this, I've realized that the police itself needs education. They don't really know that their strength does not lie in gadgets. The strength of the police does not lie in weaponry, does not lie in siren, does not lie in all these things, paraphernalia of office, vehicles. It lies in intelligence. And the best form of intelligence are the intelligence that are not even purchased, but are volunteered. It was Paul, the apostle, who said, "It is in God we live, we move, and we have our being." The police should adopt that particular scriptural attitude. It is in the people that you move, that you live, and you have your relevance. Once you understand that, and the people see, everybody gives cooperation to a friend. Nobody gives much cooperation to a stranger or to somebody perceived as dangerous. Even if a dangerous person is in critical situation, you'll be wondering that, hey, can I go on this dog that has been snapping? Now it's been caught in a trap or something. Hey, should I your humanity wants you to help the injured dog, but you have said this dog now. Tó bá gbá eyín mọ́ mi, if you should clench his teeth on me, he will tear me to pieces. That's the way the average Nigerian is seeing the Nigerian police. That even if you say you want to marry now, say, o fẹ́ fọlọ́pàá. You want to marry ọlọ́pàá. They will even speak to your parents. You want ọlọ́pàá to become your in-law. It's at that level. It's at that level of resentment, of fear. They should really think critically and stop posing and being pompous and like that. All these many of these PPRO, Udeyi and the rest, they should stop being pompous. And you know, somebody was killed, and a former commissioner of police there was saying that I mean, is that Udeyi to AD no, that the person was under
No, it's
enchantment.
That is the first PPRO, the current.
The current, yes, current whoever. I said when they killed that lawyer, I said that person no sympathy is under enchantment and that kind of thing, and that under those circumstances must a policeman. No, is that you are talking down on people. You are talking down on people. You are not supposed to talk down on people. You are a public servant. You are a civil servant. Whatever it means is that you are a servant. And the people, the sovereignty belongs to the people. I remember, and that attitude even up to higher up. I remember in 2021, the first anniversary of the what do you call it, of the NSAS, the shooting at the memorial at Lekki. I was there, and things seemed to get out of hand. And the police officers there, they are trying to contain. I was speaking to our people too, not to be. Suddenly, the police officer called me and said the commissioner of police wants to speak with me. That is Odumosu. What he said on the phone was shocking. But somebody of his level, of his education, of his exposure, he knows me. We've had engagement before, and he's somebody I have respect for. But I was shocked that day. He spoke so garrulously. So no, not garrulously means that you are talking too much. But this one, he spoke so pompously, spoke so tyrannically. He said, Mr. Ogunlana, I give every one of you there 15 minutes. I give 15 minutes. Otherwise, you see, let me tell you, it's only grammar. It's only grammar you people will be talking. I'm just commissioner of police. Intoxicated by power. We are talking of human lives. He made it, and you know, he must be in his 60s now. That he's retired or very close. I'm very, very close, just an inch away from being 60. We are two elderly people talking. Imagine, assuming I was talking to a 23 or 25-year-old leader of that protest. This attitude is wrong. Yes, I know our people too can be wild. Yes, on the side of civilians, you must proper respect for laws and the freedom of others, especially demonstrations, all these holding of barriers and barricades and all that, you should be guided by lawyers and by law. Not that because I'm demonstrating. You are not in a state of anarchy, and you are not in a state of revolution. You understand? If you don't have forces to confront the state at the level of political destabilization, you must have to conform and then think of others. Not everybody will say the same from your perspective. What you are so passionate about, some other people do not see it that way, and you are not supposed to disrupt their lives and then make life a hell for them. It's balancing. But being government, and who knows the value and the sanctity of human life, to whom much is given, much more is expected. That's my position.
Thank you very much for your time, sir.
You are welcome, please. Thank you.
Yes.